Man, I love this. It was a treat to spot this song on Billboard's Hot 100. Coming in at number 58 the week of October 28th, 1972. A Lost 45 by Eric Clapton, a song that should have been a much bigger hit. Only got as high as number 48, but it was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 13 weeks. Let It Rain by Eric Clapton, one of his most passionate pieces of work. Eric Clapton. Actually, this song was recorded much earlier. It was from the album Eric Clapton. Self-titled album released in the summer of 1970. He started working on this album in 1969, and he's worked on this album in London, then Los Angeles, and back in London again, going into 1970. The people who played on this album, Delaney and Bonnie, played on this album. They co-wrote the song, Let It Rain, with Eric Clapton. Also playing on this album, playing piano, Leon Russell, Rita Coolidge singing on this album, and contributing vocals and guitar on this album, Stephen Stills, Jim Gordon, the legendary drummer of the Wrecking Crew, Los Angeles session musicians back in the 60s. He played on this album as well. He also drummed on the song Layla by Derek and the Dominoes, one of Eric Clapton's, one of his projects. Some of the songs off this album, the biggest hit off the album was After Midnight, back in the fall of 1970. Guess who wrote After Midnight? You might already know it. J.J. Cale wrote After Midnight. It put J.J. Cale on the map. J.J. Cale had that hit. Remember that hit back in the spring of 1972 called Crazy Mama? J.J. Cale. Vivid memories of that song. He wrote After Midnight. I think I covered all the basics. It was really time. By 1970, it was time for Eric Clapton to come out with a solo album. After being so successful in the Yardbirds, Cream, Blind Faith, poetic song. This is one of the most poetic passionate records I've ever heard. Some of the lyrics from the song: the rain has fallen through the mist of sorrow that surrounded me. The sun could never thaw away the bliss that lays around me. And then let it rain, let it rain, let it rain down on me. Her life was like a desert flower burning in the sun. Until I found the way to love is harder said than done. Now I know the secret. There's nothing that I lack. If I give my love to you, you'll surely give it back. Surely give it back. This might be around the time that he started his affair with Patty Harrison. Gosh dog it. I read some accounts about this. Eric Clapton was absolutely infatuated with Patty Harrison, George Harrison's wife. He was actually openly, or well, not openly, but he was seeing her while she was still married to George Harrison. But it's just one of those things that happened, and it might have been about her. Can't help but think that was about Patty Harrison, but I could be wrong about that. By the way, another recommendation, Patty Harrison's biography. She came out with an autobiography back in the 2000s. Great read. If you like reading about the Beatles, might want to check out Patty Harrison's autobiography. This is Eric Clapton. Let It Rain at number 58. The week of October 28th, 1972, Billboard's Hot 100.